Marat was a seminal production in the time when the RSC was regularly turning out quite avant-garde new writing, was quite a political institution. Rehearsing a play that is meant to be directed by the Marquis de Sade, so you need to go into sexual places, areas of race, areas of religion. You need to go into a lot of places where people's sensitivities lie. It's a conjunction of forms, serious issues, but examined and explored through the use of music and comedy, the imaginative metaphor of the asylum, the ensemble work, the way that actors are fully integrated into the process, the layering of that, the Brechtian techniques involved. There'll be material in there that's not for everybody. If they're a broad-minded audience, I think that they'll be entertained. I think they'll be... The form of Marat was in some ways ahead of its time. It's influenced a lot of work, but in fact a lot of the work that it influenced after that tended to happen more in the sort of esoteric areas of theatre or whatever, whilst the mainstream theatre went on in rather text-bound ways. I think now, actually, the techniques used in Marat have found their way back to the mainstream after going a rather circuitous sort of route. So I think that it would be good for an audience now to be reminded formally of what it did, and of course its subject matters. Thatcherite philosophy of there is no such thing as society, there is just a group of individuals in a sense, is actually a direct sort of descendant of the Sadean philosophy. Well, the madness in Marat was always an analogy. I mean, given that I've had involvement in certain projects that address mental health issues, I was hesitant. I recoil instantly from the idea of actors acting mad. But in a sense, the madness of those characters is it's not any kind of critique or any kind of realistic look at mental illness. It's purely used as an analogy. An asylum like Charenton was in a sense a detention centre as well. The inmates were not simply people who were insane. Women were in there for all kinds of social reasons, unfairly. Dissidents of any sort were put into asylums. Anywhere that anybody they couldn't find a way to put into prison was put into an asylum. And I think that inevitably draws some parallels as well with recent events. The detention centre, the asylum, the place for people who are socially unacceptable is still very relevant today.
My name is Jasper Britton, I think.